Well, move over Gen Z and Gen Alpha, the beta babies are here. Well, that's right. Starting from 1st of January 2025, a new generation has emerged. Kids born from now till 2039 are going to be called Generation Beta. Now, essentially, the kids of millennials and Gen Z. Just to break it down, Gen Beta, remember, follows Gen Alpha. What's Gen Alpha? Well, those are the babies born between 2010 and 2024. Before that, it's Gen Z, of course, 1996 to 2010. And of course, even before that, you have the millennials, 1981 to 1996. Even before that, if you want to go back, you have the boomers, the baby boomers as they were called, from 1946 to 1964. So which one of these categories do you fall in? So what really is Generation Beta going to be like? And how will they be different from you and me? Let's tell you about the 5 things about them. This generation will be making optimum utilization of AI, artificial intelligence, and smart devices. They will be using these tools much more in their daily routines than we have ever done. Their physical lives and digital lives are going to be completely seamless. For them, virtual reality is not an innovation anymore. It is an everyday need and necessity. Second, the use of social media. That too is likely to change for this generation. So far, millennials and Gen Z, social media has been very important part of their lives. But for Generation Beta, social media may be evolving as well. Remember, their lives will see a greater personalization. AI is going to tailor-make everything for them. From education to shopping, even social media interactions are going to be very personalized. Even their friendships are likely to be in the digital realm. So they will be global and they'll be digitally connected with their friends far more than we are in any of these earlier generations. Also, Generation Beta will be growing up in post-pandemic world. So unlike Generation Alpha, they will not be facing the psychological impact of the COVID restrictions such as lockdowns, what happened when schools were shut, and of course social isolations. Those are not problems that they are going to be dealing with. Environmental challenges, that's going to be a big one as well. In fact, one of the demographers and futurists, Meghna Deka, has written that Generation Beta will be inheriting a world which is grappling with major societal challenges. What are these challenges? Climate change, global population shifts, and rapid urbanization. For them, sustainability, like us, is not just a preference. For them, sustainability will become a necessity. Next, Generation Beta will be starting their lives much differently than Gen Alpha did. They will be the children, remember, of younger millennials and the older Gen Zers. So even their parenting is going to be very different. Interestingly, many of the Gen Beta will be living to see the 22nd century. So how do you parent and raise Gen Beta? Well, that's going to be the big challenge for the parents today. How do you prepare them for a world that is changing so fast? Well, get used to AI-driven tools for personalized education as well as health monitoring. But the biggest challenge will be to teach them critical thinking, to teach them adaptability. You'll have to prepare them for jobs that don't even exist as jobs today. In fact, for Gen Beta, traditional classrooms may be replaced or even heavily augmenting with the AI-driven learning systems, which will be tailor-made to every individual. There'll be virtual and augmented reality, and that's going to be playing a big role for them in their lives. But this generation will also be immersed in virtual space. That, as a parent, you will have to balance out the screen time, and you'll have to actively encourage them to have real-world connections. So what kind of jobs will Gen Beta have? Their workplaces are going to be very different from ours. It's going to be dominated by automation. It's going to be dominated by robotics, and sustainable industries are going to be cropping up much more. Skill sets such as creativity, emotional intelligence, and problem solving. All of this is going to be very crucial for them, as most of the jobs will require repetitive tasks, which is going to be then handled by machines and not by humans. So remember, By 2035, 16% of the population is going to be Generation Beta. So obviously, they are going to be influencing the consumer trends as well as the cultural shifts in the world. Companies will need to adapt to their values. Companies will have to make sure that they too emphasize on sustainability, on inclusivity, on digital innovation. That's going to be the key for all companies. With hyper-connected internet, this generation will be much more global-minded. They are going to be fostering deeper appreciation when it comes to cultural diversity, when it comes to collaboration, for example. So as we look forward to the era of Generation Beta, one thing is certain. They will grow up in a world which is very different from anything that we have seen before. The opportunities that they have and how they deal with these challenges is going to define not just their generation, but the next chapter of humanity itself. So as I take your leave, do remember to connect with us on the comment section below and let me know what you want to see next on Decoding Now. Bye then.